All right, good morning and welcome to Remine Pro. We're going to be discussing the advantages of having Remine Pro, a new member benefit. I have an outline here that I will provide later to Alexandra regarding Remine Pro. You had access to Remine before, but in this last month, the association has now made it so it's a benefit for all. You do not have to request supplies or information. Um, oh, thank you, Patricia. Um, what I do want you to know about Remine, it's an all-in-one tool. It's sleek. You can have MLS searches and so much more. I will give this breakdown of the course to Alexandra so you guys can have it, as well as the recording. My name is Connie Nieto. I'm one of 4 full-time instructors at the Miami Association of Realtor. We do have Leslie here with us today in the audience, so I'm very happy with that. Remind Pro is one of the products and services that you can get to through the Miami Gateway. So you would click the Miami Gateway and come into the Miami Gateway page and click right into Remine. Okay, Remine. When you open Remine through its homepage, you come into what's called the daily dose. You have quick action items here. I'm going to reduce. There we go. You can set up the weather on your Remine to be for your area. You do have property notifications for notices and properties that you are following or engaging with. It does allow you to see your saved searches, any listing updates in the area that you work in. Now, we do teach Remine in prospecting and farming. So today's focus won't be so much prospecting and farming, which I think many of you have seen. It'll be more how to engage the pro benefits that you now have as being a Miami member. You do have a Twitter update here and engage, market pulse and information for the area in South Florida. And if you have listings, you will have a listing area here. Let me go ahead and minimize. There we go. I also want you to notice when you open Remine, be sure on the left-hand side to click where your information and names appears. Click through and make sure that it says Pro. If it does not, please feel free to contact one of us, Connie at MiamiRE, Trainer at miamire.com, or just the MLS or call in for membership. All of you should have access to the Pro. To be able to add in your photo and information, go ahead and click on Settings, and you can change out your photo. This will come out in reports and items that you prepare within the system. Okay? Always make sure to come in, click the settings, make sure you have the Pro, add in your photo. Coming back to the daily page. I don't have a listing, but I want to show you a page that does have a listing. When you do have a listing, I'm going to switch over to my colleagues page assigned to you. The My Listings area will show here. One of the interesting things now, if you do have a current listing, the system does allow you to create a live open house directly from the system. So if you have listings in the MLS and you're looking to do an open house, you can come and feature it in Remine. People can then search and find it. I want to show you this first because it's something that's very important. And this time, if you did have a listing, you could click through your listing. And I'll repeat this at the end because it's one of the unique features for Pro. Okay. If you have a listing, you would come into your listing and it'll tell you create live open house here on the left-hand side. And you would click in it and the system will allow you either to do a live version of the open house. If you have Remine on your phone as an application, you can use your phone to do a virtual tour live, or you can actually schedule it with date and time and create a link. So if you've created a video of the property that you currently have listed, you can also do a live open house here with a link. This feature is interesting considering now that we're doing social distancing. So take advantage of this if you do have a virtual tour created for your property and you have a listing. Again, from your daily page, if you have listings, you'll see my listings. It might be a little further down, and all you have to do is click into it. And once in it, on the left-hand side, create a live open house. If you're using Remine as an application on your phone, you can switch it over and create a virtual tour. I'm using this on the computer, so it tells me that this is a Remine app item. If not, if you're using it from your computer, you can actually schedule an open house. Put in a date and time and a link. This will then become searchable in Remine. Let me go ahead and switch back to my account. From my account, I want to show you that you can come in and search, and a pro feature allows you to come in and use the filters as you would in the MLS. Please note that you can come to the very top and put in a city, a location, a zip, a neighborhood, a school that interests you. Remine has nationwide information, so if you are interested in nationwide, you could click so here. Some of you sometimes ask that you're looking for properties in other parts of Florida outside of our multiple listing service area that includes Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, Martin, and San Lucie County. Well, here's an option if you're interested in. A Remine Pro quality, like I was telling you, is that you can use this as an MLS. You can choose to get a status, list price, listing date, beds, bath, year built, lot size, square foot, floors, has garage, basement, and parking spaces. If these filters are not enough, you can click to the top and click Advanced and choose listing structure information and info here. And you can come and add fields. On the lower hand side, add fields, and it'll let you add HOA, bath, days on market, listing office, has pool, senior community, which is HOPA, waterfront, and land lease. All of this, I'm going to go back to show you. You have your filters here and an advanced feature on the upper right hand side. Now, if we're searching in an area like this, close to where the office location is, you can actually use the additional filters here on the side. Let me give a minute for the map. Currently, with the map open at this level, we have 18,000 properties. You can zoom in, right? And now I have 3,000 properties. One of the filters that you can use here on the left-hand side is building type. So if you'd like, you can click on building type and let's say select single family. And from the 3,400 properties, once you apply the filter, you have 643. This will allow you to view where there are single family home properties in the area. You can use this in conjunction with the add filter bar on top, which is an MLS filter, and actually click through and select a status, just like you would in the MLS, but with two additional items, open house, live open house. So someone can actually come into Remine and search those open houses that I showed you how to just add. They can choose to see active, active under contract, pending, canceled, closed on the MLS, closed off the MLS. This is a great feature because this allows you to search also tax service information. So you have a way to search what has closed in the area outside of an MLS. You can also do closed, expired, hold, withdrawn, and off market. So if I choose active, now I'm looking in this area for single family and active. I can come back and add a filter, and let's say I'm interested in a property. Oops, let's do beds, minimum of 3, right? So now I am filtering through like I would in the MLS. Here on the on the right hand side, you have information on the properties that are for sale in the area. If you'd like, you can simply click through An additional tab will open and the information on the property will appear. If you notice here, you have listing pictures, active and days on the market, MLS number, price, HOA information, amount of equity on the home, bed, bath, square footage, acreage, the address, the type of property, which is single family, which is what we were searching for, owned by, and how long they've had it. It'll give the public remarks, the showing instructions, agent information with contact details, and then key statistics. It's active, the lot size, the originating price, builder, exterior features, and more. The HOA information and the frequency, tax data, and then the interesting part. You can click through and see valuation. Valuation usually has information on First American. It also has sometimes Redfin, and we have Black Knight today. First American is a reliable company that you can use to get info on. Notice the range is very large, and this one is valuated at $703,000. Interestingly enough, the property owners and agent have listed it at $749,000. It is within the range, but not at the exact valuation point. You also have here public records, including location, whether it's occupied or not by the owner, if it is corporate owned or absentee owner. Most of you have used this maybe before in IMAP just to be able to reach out to folks that are renting or to owners that are investors. Now here in Remine, you can actually filter and see corporate and absentee owned. You get information on the neighborhood, legal description, the year the property was built, and more. You also have recent tax information, lot size, and a net equity value. The value of the property, the loan amount out, the net equity, and the percent of equity. You have parking information, homeowner association, contact details or the name, active mortgage information, all of the click of a button. So when you open a property, even though it's listed, you get these additional items. You also have flood zone and a FEMA map number. You can click through and get school information from the area. It's not showing. Normally the school information comes from each. There it goes. Okay. You can even learn about the scores. A nice area has an A elementary school, a B middle, and an A minus high school. This sometimes is very important when someone's looking to purchase a home. They'd like to make sure the schools in the area are great. Demographics about the zip code: 83% college graduated, 20% of people have children. The average household has 2.0 people. 84,000 K is the average income, and the average age is a young 45, says the teacher. Also, to let you know, this information does come from census tract, so take a minute and fill out your census information. It is very important. Property history, and you can see the history of the property in the MLS, when it's been listed before, and transfers of deed and documentation. You can click through and see mortgage information that's public, first with Countrywide and then Capital Mortgage, tax information, assessments. To continue, associated people. Since this listing is active in the MLS, you do not have the associated people feature. This is a prospecting portion, so if a property is off market, you would get associated people. The information here is not always exact. One of the things that we recommend that you do is to come in to Remine and look for your details. But you do get for free now contact information, and it sometimes includes email and phone numbers. I'll give you an example before we finish of one that does have the details in it. Now, since you have all of this open, you may want to share this. This is a one-time share that you can do directly from the system. While you're in the property, if you'd like to share it with a customer, you can simply click share, email the recipient. Let's see. Type a message. And send. There's also a link here. So if you're interested, you can actually come and copy the link and send it to your customer. Some of you like to send items to WhatsApp. I don't know if you know, but you can have WhatsApp on your laptop. And this is a way to get something to someone quickly. Or you click send. One of the things to note is that when you send from here, by doing this share, you do not get a copy of what you've sent. I do want you to know that. Another way to do this, and if you're interested in the property, is once you've sent the email, you can actually add it to a cart. So this property interests you or may interest your customer, you can actually come in, click add to cart, name a cart, correct? And add property to a cart. I'll show you later how we can get access to that and how we can add additional items. You can also come in here and create a quick CMA. If I click CMA, you do have access to Remine CMA 360. If you are a Platinum Plus member of the Miami Association of Realtors, you have access to Cloud CMA. If we click through to the Remine CMA 360, it does allow you to come in and to put bed and bath features. So we'll put 4 to 6, 3 to 4, right? You can put square footage information. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 2,300 square feet. Let's put 1,900. Give me 1 second. Before I start doing that without making sure, let's just open again to get the details so we get the CMA correctly. Notice that I just went back to the Remind screen and I'm opening it up again so I can see the detail. The square footage is 24, so we'd like to do 20% more, 20% less. So that'd be about 200 plus or minus. You could do more than that. But for easy math, then what I'm going to come do is put 2,200 to 2,700, and we have a range. You could put year built and additional items, parking, etc. I do like to come in and make sure that you adjust the time frame. We're going to start first with 6 months. And if that doesn't work, we can continue to expand. You would come into the system, and today is the 7th, so you can actually do it from exactly the 7th of December. And then you could do it from a distance of a half mile. Remember that this is 6 months, half a mile, 20% square footage, beds and baths. And what you can do now is click search. This is the range area that it will be searching in. We click search. And these are the homes. You can remove them if you'd like. You can leave them. You can review them, right? And all you have to do to save and continue, if you agree with these, is to come in and click save and continue. There is a Remind color scheme, and there's other color schemes in here as well. The Remind is this blue and black I tend to like. You can upload your logo. So I'm going to go ahead and click to show you how. You would click, add in your logo. My photo's already here, but all you would do to add agent photo would be to click and find your agent photo. And then if you want to personalize it, you can actually make it for your customer. So I'm going to pick on Leslie and put her name so she can see. Now your preview will include the customer name. Remember that this is all very important for the customer. Personalization and customization is key many times to showing the customer the great service that you provide. It also says prepared by, and some of you may use an additional name or a nickname, so you can actually come in and put your nickname if you like. Mine is funny because my nickname is what appears. And you can go ahead and put it like that. And now your information will show. You click save and continue. and you've created a CMA for the property with a range, the days on market, and if you had done any that were active, average, demographic information, the amount you said versus Redfin and First American, comparable properties so that your customer could see, and this is a nice presentation. For those of you that like to send, you can actually come into here, print, and it will allow you to create a print PDF of this. So you could do a quick CMA from within Remine as well. Some of you are always looking for solutions or way to do these CMAs. Here's another one that the association now provides you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. It was our sample. And remember that we were inside the property and I just clicked CMA. Another feature I'd like you to see is that the photos are here that you can review. You can click on photo on the main screen and siphon through the pictures from the property. Now, going back here on the side, we discussed a little bit about cards, engage, chats, and contacts. You can actually interact with your customer in the system. If I click over to contacts, I can actually come and add my contacts. I can invite a customer to be a part of one step. I can add a contact by clicking through, putting their name, last name, email address, phone number, address, city, state, and zip code, and even add additional fields if I'd like, including information such as birthday, children, contact type, and more. I have a couple here to show you, right? You can manage your contacts, see the information, add in your folks. It's easy. You can actually come and see the information for your customer, edit it in, and you can invite them to one step. What is this one step? It's an invitation for your customer to use the portal available to them through Remine. If they do that, if you invite them, they get an email. And I think I have an example if you'd be interested for you to see what the email looks like. Let me see if I have it here. I can open up the Gmail. Because some of you like, okay, I can invite them to something, but what do they get? Let me switch out. Okay. And I have here, when you share a home with them, and then here's the Remind invites I've saved to be able to show you. When you invite them to the step one, this is the invitation they got. Access the freshest MLS data, chat with me, easy tool, and get started with a free credit report. Remind does offer them a free credit report. It will never show you directly their credit score, but if they do run the free credit report, it is a soft pull and they will get their credit scoring. It'll tell you if it's poor, good, excellent, etc., but it will not give you the score, only the customer. They can actually get that for free here. They can also search and get information, right? And this is all through the Get Started. That's what they get. Once they confirm their information, it tells them that they're confirmed. Almost there, confirm your email. And then these are examples of what they get when you share. Notice that we did this one this morning. This is what they would get. Your friend Connie has found you a property, and they can view the property. Coming back to Remind. Okay, oops. Here to the contacts. If I click Engage, I can actually see what my customer has done. So once I invite them to the one step, I can see how they interact, what they've registered, if they've created any saved searches, the last time they logged in, what they have a search for, what they're budgeting on, anything that they may have searched and shared, favorited properties, right? They can add in a note or I can add a note for them. I can see the properties that they've chosen. I can see some of the properties that I've shared and my save search for them. So Remine Pro allows you to interact with your customer at this level and gather information. Some of you may like this, so this may be an option for you. Now, chatting with a customer, they have to have it open and you have to have it open as well. And you can come and send information to the customer. Now back to the search, just to give you guys a little more information. I started this in an area. I gave you guys filter information. I showed you how to find them. Now, what happens if you'd like to suggest this to a customer? Now that I'm back here on the map, I can actually come and select all or review one by one the properties and select them. Once I have them selected here, I can actually cart the properties. When I cart the properties, remember I had created the Aventura. I can come and select these Aventura, and I've added 5 properties to this cart. Now that I've added the properties to the cart, if I simply click on carts, I'm going to have all the properties that I've stored there for my customer, and then I can send them as a suggestion to the customer. So they were looking at this one area, and you're hearing them and you're interacting with them, and you'd like to suggest additional properties or investments. You can actually create a cart for the customer. I called mine Aventura. You can name it the person, and then you come back to carts. We're going to wait a second here while this pulls. And then you can send this suggestion to them. If you've come to our prospecting and farming class, we teach the cards there a little different. The cards allows you to create mailing labels and postcards, etc. But this is a way to focus on the customer and how you can use the cards. One of the unique things about the cards as well is that as a Miami member and a Remine Pro user, you can actually have 10,000 properties within the cards. So if you're farming and prospecting an area, let me go ahead. If you're farming and prospecting an area, you can actually keep tabs of the different areas and create different carts like I have here set for you. Now, this Aventura single family home, if I had a customer, I can actually select these and share my cart. Share it with my customer. Share it with my customer. Type in my customer's name. Okay. And once I'm ready, click share cart. Instead of that being a search sent to my customer, that's now actually a suggestion that I'm giving my customer. So if you're working with an investor and you're looking at an area and there are a couple of properties that you think, oh, this would be great for them to look into, you could put them in a cart and then send them as a suggestion to the customer. Now I'm going to open up for questions, and I'd like to show you a little bit of the prospecting because we have some time. Ali, I see you're here.
How are you, Connie? Thank you so much. This is a fantastic platform.
I do want to show you that I focused today on Remine Pro features, which is a new thing for Miami members that you now have for free. I do want to take a minute now to show you a little prospecting, because if you just see that portion, it may not give you a full overview. Now, these are normally 2 classes, separate classes. So I'm going to come in, since not that many. Oh, there's a couple of chats. Hold on. Let me look. Patricia, you said the key element here. Using this can give you the power to see so much in the system. The application, Thomas, is actually a lot of fun. I was showing it this morning. I was trying to prepare to talk to you guys, so I like to situate myself in the area where the office is. And over my shoulder, my husband goes, hey, I work close to there, because he works off of Sunny Isle. And he goes, I can't believe you have all this information. So you have it as well. You have all this information here. Now I'm going to come and clear out items here, and I want to show you something. Let's say that you, let's give it a minute for it to show. I don't know so much if we needed another site to search. This one, Rita, is really nice because you have a combination of tax service information, right, and public data and the MLS all in one, very easy to read. So yeah, it is actually very interesting. Let me give it a minute here to let it allow me to move around. So this is maybe close to the area where you guys have your office, correct? But let's say that your niche area is here, right? Let's say you do this Reynolds Monastery Park, right? And you're interested in what's happening here. Maybe you're prospecting, maybe you're looking to see what's going on. You know the area is ever changing. Well, I can come to an area like this, and let's say I'm interested. Right now, there's 3,000 properties. So I can come and just click building type, click single family, and apply. And I go from seeing the 3,000 to noticing that in this full area, there's 1,000 single family homes. Now I can even zoom in further. Okay. And remember that I have it marked single family. So none of this is single family. If I wanted to, I could come into here and look at ownership time without even selecting anything, just by using the color scheme on the map. I can see who has owned property 20 plus year, 15 to 20, etc. Why would I want to look for this? Well, if I'm prospecting, there is a great opportunity here in anybody that's lived in a property for more than 7 years. That's a statistical number. May be looking to what? Sell. So if I'm trying to obtain a listing, anything that say is 10 years plus should interest me. So I come and I put that filter on the map and it gives me. So this week, I might want to concentrate on this area, correct? I can come in and even ask it, sell score. What is this? The high means that there's a high probability that they're going to sell in the next 6 months. Medium is 6 to 12 months, and low, more than that. What is this? It's gathered information on what the owner is doing in regards to the property, and it's providing it to you. If I click high here, right, and I apply, there's not that many going to be left, but there's a couple, and these have a high probability of selling. Let me look at your questions that some of you had chatted. Yes, it's easy. All right. Now I have these two potential properties, right here, just to peek. Okay. And this other one over here that's very high. All right. I have 4 results. So here's what I was trying to tell you. I can select these. And since I have 10,000 that I can follow, I can come and select these, put them in a cart. And I'm not sure what you guys would call the area, but I'm going to put Aventura area, single family, possible sale. Why possible sale? I'm prospecting. I'm looking for potential customers that may want to list. Oops. Let me just call it. Okay. Let me create it and add the 4 properties to this cart. I left them in the cart, right? That's like when you go shopping and you're putting stuff in your little cart. Remember, we used to do that at the store? I remember doing that. And then I want to come and look at them. Why? I want info. Just by clicking on it, this one property. Let me close out some of the other items that I have here. Okay. I see that this one has almost full equity. It's almost completely paid off, right? The owners have been there for 30 plus years, Josephine, right? It is an absentee owner, so she rents it out, so maybe an even better way, right? This is the mailing address versus the actual address. Oh, it's giving us the same. The description and property information. So if I wanted to, I could come here to valuation. I see it's valued at 541. It's giving me a 490 valuation here. 541 from First American. Black Knight and Redfin a little lower. Now, if I come to property history, I'm going to have to go into the tax to get more info. That's how long she's owned it, that we don't have info here. So most definitely, if she would sell, she'd be making money. What could I do with this? I've added it to my cart. Let's come back and let's look at another one. So I can analyze, instead of going the formal way that we used to prospect, which is IMAP, search for a property, get a subdivision, get a mailer list, divide them by owners, renters, etc. Here I can actually analyze before I send. Or if I'm going to do door knocking, I can actually door knock and have a report to present. So I have a 3-2 here, 1,500 square feet, right? And then remember that we were looking for associated people. Let's see if this one has it. Before, you would have to pay for this feature. Now you have the contact information here. Remember that this is because it was off market. When they were on market, Remine respects and we do not get the contact details. We have a couple of phone numbers. We have a couple that are do not call, right? We have a couple of emails for you guys to reach out. But isn't this a great tool for you to be able to prospect? So I went and I took a whole area. I looked for the type of properties that I was interested with, building type. I zoomed into a zone. And sometimes when we do it via IMAP and we do a subdivision or a building, you have hundreds of properties. Well, is that strategic? This is a little more strategic. I zoomed into an area. I found potentially, I don't remember if it was 40 or 20 some homes, and then I isolated those that had a high sales score. And what am I going to do now? I'm going to prospect and farm and reach out to the area. And I even have some contact information if I'm interested. All of this because you click through Remine and you play a little. Now, Patricia said it. The key element here is designating a piece of time to really know your area and using this tool to know it and then plan to be able to get customers from it. So I hope you like it. Okay, now let me show you what we can do with a cart. Since I created this cart, right, the single family prospect, remember I only had 4 people, right? I can actually select it, export if I wanted to create like a sheet, send mailers, right? And this send mailers, let me call it here, actually takes you to Rocket Print. Now, I don't like to sell, so I'm going to show you this just because I like the price. How many of you wouldn't want a click through to be able to create a mailer at a relatively good price? So 4 pieces for $264. A postcard. A large postcard, $340. What happened if you sold in the area or you had a recent rental? When you come to personalize and choose the design, you can go ahead and choose just sold, just rented in the area. And look at the pricing. So remember, I created a cart. I came to my cart. And you can come and click more and print mailing labels. Fantastic. But wouldn't you want to come and click and do this? You have the option now at great prices because they bulk all of the requests from Remines into one big pool. So you get bulk pricing for your printouts. I just think it's fabulous. Now we just need time to play, correct? So remember that when we got in, I'm going to review what we've done. We came into the daily and we saw the information sheet, right? I bothered my calling, Maggie, and because she has a listing assigned to her so that I can show you that when you have a listing, it does show up. And when it does show up, that you can actually click from here and create a live open house. So if you're looking for a way to do it, here's an option. Coming back to mine, all right? We talked about the search and the MLS aspect of the search that you could do, how you can put in a school and information and get a nationwide, right? Then we went in and we saw cards and engaged, we chatted and contacts, and now I showed you a little bit of prospecting. I think I had a question. Somebody had a question. Well, if it becomes, I'm going to ask about the Google Drive. Let's look. If you're a Google Drive person, let's find out. So if I click export, yes, it's to a CSV file. I'm going to go ahead and ask Remine. Do you see this item here? I forget the name of the person who asked me. I'm so sorry. Arturo. Do you see this here? You can actually ask them if you wanted to export to Google Drive if there was a way to do it.
Thank you. I saw it. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. I know I wanted to give you a solution. If that's your choice, maybe they'll have a way and we'll learn. And I'll send a request up now and ask Lauren, who's my contact, and we'll go ahead and see what she says. And maybe it'll just be a feature to add. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. To me, this is a great tool. If you feel like you're not sure what to do with the business right now, you can come in here into search. Let me clear all the filters. And this is what I did this morning. I came in and I said, bueno, I'm going to talk to my friends from Aventura. I came and I clicked in Aventura. It brought me to the area, right? So I can see the area. Since we have it drawn here, look how many properties there are. So using the tools wisely, I can I can come here to the side and in building type, let's say I wanted to know, there's not that many single families, so I'm going to do it on purpose, single family and apply. That gives you the concentrations of where there's single family. I can even come to other filters in here. Let me zoom in a little. Since there's some here, we'll peek. Right? And we'll see. In this little area here that I have 14, are there any cash buyers? There are two. Two cash buyers. Is anybody sneakily doing Airbnb? See, Airbnb. Let's see. Last sale price, and we can investigate if any of the properties last sale price were in this range. It eliminated it. So, right? Mortgage age. Let me move it a little so we could see it. The years of the mortgage. Not that it would be helpful for us, but you could see a mortgage rate. If you're interested or your customer is going to buy land, look at this. So I'm looking at property and I want to know what's close to it, what it's like. So let's move away from there a little bit so we can see an area that might give us more info. I can actually come and see land use. So let's see if I want to click on commercial and apply. It should have shown us some stuff. I think it's taking a little long. Now, by the way, you need to have magnificent bandwidth to be able to use this. So this is probably best at home or with your internet. Let me see what else I can show you. Here, that's why it was giving me an issue. Let's remove building type. And let's remove commercial. And now that I see items, let's see if it'll let me do the land use. Here you go. And it takes a while. It's still thinking. But if someone's interested in buying something, they may want to know what that lot of land or that property across the street or behind them is set up for. And here you have it. Okay? So if you're not sure of your area, if you're not sure how to tackle and prospect your area, if you're not sure how to assist your customer, Remine gives you an option for just about everything. So you see, here we have residential, commercial, industrial, public use, even a utility area here in Aventura. So there's no reason not to know the area so that you can discuss it and talk and sell it. I hope you like the tool. I know I do. Any questions? Let me see if I have any chatted ones. No? Leslie, anything that you'd like to add?
No, you've covered it really well. I've actually learned a few things to add to the value of Remine, and I'm seeing all the comments, so I'm happy that the agents find the value. This was something that a lot of people liked, but necessarily couldn't invest. The upgraded features. So now that it's completely free to our Miami members, hopefully we'll see more engagement because it is a extremely valuable tool. And as you mentioned, it isn't like the typical farming. You can really hone in and strategize who you're going to be marketing to. So I thank you, Connie, for inviting me. And it's always fun, especially with Grand Realty, a group of great agents. So no, that's pretty much it. And actually, thank you for teaching me a few things.
Ah, well, well, you always teach me stuff, and she's so proper. It's great to ask her questions. Of course, I've behaved and I've spoken in English the whole time. So, Ale, can I have some free time to mingle in Spanglish?
Yes, please.
First and foremost, use the tool. Utilícenlo. There's so much in it. Grab an area that you like and click through. Why? I always see that there's something new to learn, something new to see, and that could give you the advantage when you're talking to a potential customer. I gave you a couple of review items, and what I am going to go ahead and do is when I write back to Ale, I'll share the video once this video has been created. Remember, I ask you, please, I share with you. Don't share with everyone under the sun. Of course, please share with your brokerage because it does have our little tidbits in it. I will also share links to the 2 classes in English and in Spanish that we give for prospecting and farming and for Remine Pro. So you have additional items to look into. I'll also share the little sheet for Remine Pro so you guys can see what it is that it offers you and what this new feature for Miami members includes, okay? This is not an official document. I created it just for you. So it has my phone and my info. Maybe I'll add Leslie's as well in a minute before I send it to you guys so that you know that we're here and available to help and assist in any way that we can. Thank you, Arturo. Thank you, Cecilia. Rita, you had asked a question. I don't want to go before answering. Though the listings show commission here and they show the listing agent, let's go click through and let's see. Let's look for something for sale. Let's look for something active. Okay. So let's see. We'll click on a property. Let me come here. Let's look at this one. I want to answer a little bit of Rita. You see here agent info. When you share this with a customer, they do not. So even though Anthony, this is Anthony's listing, if you were to share with a customer, they would only see customer facing info. Now commission. Let's see. Commission 2.5. I don't know if you guys know that trick of Control F to be able to search the page. And if you're a Mac user, it's Command F. F as in find will allow you to search for keywords on the page. So here you have, it does show commission. Rita, I think I answered your question. I also wasn't 100% sure, so I confirmed it for myself. And with that, I really conclude the presentation. I thank you so much for participating and being with Leslie and I today, and Ale for having me again.
Thank you so much to both of you for being available and for giving us your time, your energy. We really do truly appreciate it.
Alrighty. Well, you know that we're always here, so just reach out. It's a pleasure. It's always nice to see so many friendly names and faces because I got to see some of you. Um, we'll be in touch and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It was a fantastic, fantastic course. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie.
Thank you,
Ciao,
Connie.
Gracielita. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao,
Thank
ciao.
you.
I had to switch to Spanish. Sorry. Besitos virtuales.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Talk to you later.
Gracias.
Ciao.
Gracias.